Back with our summer movie preview. It's Michael Patrick Shields, heard all across Michigan, with Eric Daw, the playwright, the actor, the director from right here in Michigan, and Ron Van Timmeren from Celebration Cinemas. You ready for a chick flick?
Sure.
Chick flick. How about Larry Crown? That is Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts. Do you need to know any more?
Oh.
Well, the interesting fact I just read this morning, I didn't realize that Tom Hanks actually directed this movie as well. First time he's done that since That Thing You Do. And it'll be interesting to see how he progresses as a director.
After being laid off from his retail job, Larry, that's Tom Hanks, returns to college where he meets a cranky but alluring communications professor, Julia Roberts. And I guess...
That's real life.
Yeah, I'd go back to school, too. Nia Vardalos, she's pretty well known, and also Pam Grier.
Well, there's a name from the
Haven't
past.
heard that in a while.
No.
Nia Vardalos helped write the co-wrote the script with Hanks, and she knows a little bit about romantic comedies, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, of course.
That's right. Horrible Bosses. Tune up the radio, everybody here. Jason Bateman and some others conspire to kill their employers, Kevin Spacey, Colin Farrell, and Jennifer Aniston, who make their lives miserable. 9 to 5 all over again.
Sounds like only
In reverse.
triple threat.
That's a kind of a nice fantasy for a lot of people, and that comes out in early July. Now we'll get to it. July 15th, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2. After 10 years, the saga comes to an end, and this too, Ron, will be in 3D.
Right, again, 2D, 3D, digital, the IMAX 3D, they're blowing out all the stops here. They want to make it available in as wide a format as possible, and obviously this is the last one.
Eric, why was this series so popular?
Well, it was based on the mega hit, the series by J.K. Rowling, the books. And I'm always, I always kind of get a chuckle whenever I see, a movie come out and it's based on the book, because as a writer, you realize that there's, Hollywood depends to a very great extent on, published works, on novels and stories like that. And, that this book sold hundreds of millions worldwide. I mean, we all remember the stories of, the kids lined up, by the hundreds outside the bookstores at midnight, waiting to get their hands on the next copy, the next, next installment. So, this was a no-brainer. This was just a no-brainer. The only caveat was that the series is so well loved and the characters so well known that Hollywood's challenge was to maintain the integrity of the storylines and the characters while adapting it to fit the Hollywood format.
Why did you love it so much? You were a kid during the Harry Potter movies.
I grew up with Harry Potter.
Yeah, but why? What was so appealing about it?
I think it's because it appeals to both guys and girls. Like you were talking earlier about a chick flick. It's not a chick flick. It's not a guy, beat 'em up kind of movie. It's something that you can go to and you can enjoy. And the movies have matured along with the characters. So you've seen them go from PG movies when you were a kid, and that's what you were allowed to watch, to PG-13 movies as you kind of get older. And I just think there's just something about it that's so intriguing, and I cannot wait. I will be in line at midnight.
Did you read the last book?
I didn't read any of the books.
You just watched it in the movies.
I
wonder if they're going to have
movies.
a reunion like 10 years later, and they're all like middle-aged.
I think that would be an awful, awful thing. I think this is one of those things that you really need to.
And
it's so
let
loved.
it die.
It's not dying. It's like it's a final end. I don't know. It's like a finale to it.
Does he die? He dies.
No, he doesn't die.
He doesn't?
No, he doesn't die. In fact, he ends up. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
know the
He
ending.
gets married,
I have
Married?
looked at it.
Married. Yes, he does.
Hermione or
Yeah.
someone else?
Nope. It's
Oh.
someone
Hermione
else.
gets married too.
To Ron?
There you go.
Oh,
Well, you'll have
boy.
to see the
What kind of
movie.
happily ever after is this going to be?
J.K. Rowling got tremendous pressure from her publishers. They wanted more. When this series took off, the publishers realized that they had the goose that laid the golden egg, and she was going to kill the goose with the 7th book. And there's been a lot of pressure on her to
I
bring
want to
back
see
Harry
it.
She
Potter.
wrote the whole thing on napkins.
Whatever. That's not true.
Well, that's the legend.
Maybe the
She's
first couple
saying.
pages. The
Yeah,
first
the chapter.
chapter. She didn't write 700 pages on cocktail napkins. I would like it to be like Michael Corleone. He goes and lives a normal life, and then 10 years later, he's pulled back in.
They pull me back.
That would be. See, I like the twist.
Yeah.
So anyway, that'll be number one, and that'll be a big movie. Ron Van Timmeren, I would think, come July 15th.
Yeah, they're looking at that as certainly one of the top 3 of the summer, but Transformers, a couple of weeks ahead of that, is actually tracking to do over $300 million too. So
Oh, that's the one where they go to the moon, and the astronauts. I've seen the trailer for that. It looks pretty cool.
yeah, they definitely have gone back to a little more simple storyline. They admitted again that with Transformers 2 it was kind of a mess. So they brought in a new female here as well, and so it'll be interesting. That'll be a big hit.
We're gonna get Winnie the Pooh back.
Yeah, Disney's got Winnie the Pooh coming out, and from the previews, and even talking to some of the employees at the theaters here, this has got a chance to cross over into that young teen, young adult market as well, especially with females.
Let's see. Okay, Winnie the Pooh's going to be back. Captain America: The First Avenger. Is that picked to be one of the top 3 of the summer?
Not likely gross-wise. I mean, it's tracking to do about $200 million, just shy of that, and yet it certainly has potential to break out here. Whether you look at Thor or go back to Iron Man and any of these characters that make up this Avenger series, there's a big fan base out there, and it depends on how good a movie they make here. They got Chris Evans to play the lead. They got Joe Johnston directing it. They got everything lined up for it to be a hit.
Yeah, I just saw the first previews for this when I was, I think it was at Thor, and it looks like they did a pretty decent job in terms of interpreting the original concept. And on my Flickster list,
Yeah.
Captain America is the top want-to-see movie of the summer.
Is
It's
it?
got a 97% want-to-see rating from Flickster.
It brings into play the Second World War, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So it'd be somewhat. Now, did I dream this, or is Mila Kunis really in a movie called Friends with Benefits?
You got it right. Opposite Justin Timberlake, and yeah.
And I guess this is one case where the movie will be exactly what the title says it is.
Right. It's all about a sex-only relationship, and it actually worked pretty well for Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman, that No Strings Attached movie that came out earlier this year. So it's kind of redoing that concept, but it is rated R, which means that you're going to get to see a whole lot of Justin and Mia.
Not so much Justin.
No, not really down with that. Nope.
Lots of Mila.
Yep. Yep. Is
All
she
right.
going to be the narcissist that she was in that
Black
70s
Swan?
show?
Oh, 70s
Oh,
show.
no, she's just an American girl.
Yep. Okay.
We will be back with more of your summer movie preview. Ron Van Timmeren is here from Celebration Cinemas. We're also joined by Eric Daw, the director, playwright. What are you working on these days?
Finishing up the sequel to Last King of Troy. I've got 180,000 words done and about 20,000 to go, and
my
it looks
God.
like we'll be bringing it out late fall, early winter.
That's impressive. Are you directing any stage shows? or
I
anything?
just finished a stint at the Riverwalk.
Oh, you did?
We did Edward Albee's The Zoo Store, or At Home at the Zoo. So yeah, just finished up there.
Eric Daw, a very creative fellow, and we'll be back in a flash. It's Michael Patrick Shields.
Model.